Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Martial Master based on novel. So let's start. Haha. Qin Chen smiled and glanced at Qin Tingting. Do you really think so? Qin Tingting was taken aback. Isn't it? Shong Gukong, please answer it. Qin Chen smiled and looked at Shong Gukong. This. Shong Gukong smiled bitterly. Little Chen, your subordinates don't know what Chen Shao's intentions are. If you change to a subordinate, you will definitely not leave. After all, you can get to know the people in the City Lord's mansion. It's something that my subordinates have always dreamed of. Qin Chen. It's no wonder that this ancient bell school is so unpromising. It hasn't been able to develop until now. Well, I ask you, Qin Tingting, if you have a child. Before Qin Chen finished speaking, Qin Tingting's face turned flush, lowered her head, and whispered like a mosquito. Senior, I don't have a boyfriend yet. Where are the children from? Qin Chen sweated coldly. I'm just making an analogy. For example, do you know, if you have a child and you encounter danger outside and are rescued by a Nine Heavens martial emperor, what will happen to you? This. Qin Tingting thought carefully, and said, I will give him some rewards. Thank him for saving my child. Speaking of children, Qin Tingting's face blushed again. I have to say that Qin Tingting is quite a person to look at. She is not the kind of woman who makes you feel amazing at first glance, but she is the kind of woman who makes you more and more comfortable, and her appearance belongs to the upper middle class, but because of Qin Tingting's body for the ancient bell. Senior sister, there is always a kind of elder sister's demeanor, and she will not be particularly noticed by her appearance. But at this moment, when the little woman came out, she immediately became more amorous, which made many passers-by stare at it. Qin Chen shook him and said, Then what will you pay him? Saint soldier? Or give him a panacea and let him directly break through the holy realm, or let him join the ancient bell sect? Qin Tingting thought for a while. Said, none of these should be possible. After all, the opponent is just a 9-day martial emperor. It is a waste to give him a holy soldier. As for allowing him to break through the holy realm, that kind of spirit pill is extremely precious. I am afraid it will not be possible on. Not to mention, he should be rewarded with some holy crystals and top emperor soldiers. For Qin Tingting, these are the most suitable ones for her. That's not enough. Although we saved the eldest lady of the City Lord's mansion, what kind of reward can the other party give as the City Lord and our status as the ancient bell sect? Earth Saint weapon? No way. Let Ben Shao break through Earth Saint. Or let the empty old sudden. In the middle of the saint breaking ground? None of this is possible. At most, it will be more convenient for the Jiyu Zhong sect to walk in Tsongshuan City in the future. But, don't forget, we appeared with the assassin. Do you think this happened? Will the City Lord's mansion investigate us? Qin Tingting pondered, absolutely. In empathy, she will also investigate the savior of her child. Then what if the origin of the person who rescued Miss City Lord's mansion is unknown? Qin Chen smiled. I understand. Qin Tingting suddenly said, the other party will think that we may be in the same group as the assassin. Correct. Qin Chen nodded. Although we rescued the other party and even obstructed the assassin, it cannot be ruled out that this is a double read, a bitter trick, and a double read close to the City Lord's mansion. Although it is unlikely, it is indeed possible. If there are only you and Kong Laro today, you can stay and accept the reward from the City Lord's mansion. It is because you know the basics, but because Ben Shao made the move, there is no need for Ben Shao to stay and fight. 1 point for Ben Shao. Use a small reward. The most important is. Qin Chen smiled proudly, you don't need to go to curry favor with their City Lord mansion. This trace of self-confidence made Qin Tingting's heart throb. However, senior, if the people from the City Lord's mansion want to find, there is still a high probability that we can be found. Qin Tingting hesitated, and there were still some people Kang Shencheng knew of her. Find the return, as long as we don't take the initiative to contact each other, then the suspicion will instantly weaken, and Ben Shao's identity will not matter. Qin Chen flashed his eyes and laughed. If the City Lord's mansion finds him out, that's another matter. He doesn't resist using the power of the City Lord's mansion to find Chen Xue and the others, but Qin Chen still has to develop the Chundi Pavilion first. Senior, we are here. This is the pill shop that our ancient Bell sect often cooperates with. It is called the Ancient Medicine Hall. In this Ancient Medicine Hall, there is an alchemy master from the Sacred Realm and 10 masters at the peak of the Sacred Realm. There is also an early visitor, Qing, ranked middle among the many alchemy powers in Tsengshuan City. Although there are not many top masters in this Ancient Medicine Hall, the Ancient Medicine Master of the Ancient Medicine Hall has extraordinary attainments in alchemy. It is rumored that he was originally just an ordinary alchemist, and later entered a certain ancient medicine. Relics, got a copy of Ancient Times. The secrets of the alchemy of the period. Since then, alchemy attainments have advanced by leaps and bounds, and have a not weak reputation around. Shang Gukong introduced to Qin Chen. Really? Go in and take a look. Qin Chen walked to the entrance of this ancient medicine hall. On the entrance of this medicine store, there were 2 characters, Ancient Medicine. After stepping into it, a burst of medicinal gas spread over it, mixed with at least tens of thousands of medicinal materials. The taste of. Sure enough, it is the heavenly medicine hall, which is different from the secular. In the secular, even the medicine gas of the pill pavilion is not so scary. Qin Chen nodded, already distinguishing some medicinal materials and strength of this ancient medicine hall based on the smell. Although Qin Chen was just able to refine the holy grade pill, Qin Chen was not afraid of anyone during the pill refining process, just as he could refine the holy yuan pill in a few days and put it in the heavens. Can also stun anyone. What's more, many alchemy inheritances in the heavens have been lost. In the Tianwu continent, countless powerful people have gathered. Qin Chen has read countless ancient books of alchemy, and his soul power surpasses those of the Earth sages. Alchemy Master. And following the smell, Qin Chen has already calculated that most of the materials he wants to refine the year's Huiguang pill are here. Mph, don't blame me for not giving you a chance. In 3 days, our Jiyu Fang Zhai only gives you 3 days. If you don't pay off what you owe in 3 days, don't blame our Jiyu Fang Zhai for not giving face, and go. As soon as Qin Chen and the others entered, they heard a sneer, and then a few fierce and evil people walked out of the ancient medicine hall. Before leaving, they looked at Qin Chen coldly and walked away. The atmosphere in the ancient medicine hall was very embarrassing, and it was only after these people left that the excitement returned. 3. What kind of medicinal materials do you want to buy? Is it to refine the pill or to buy the pill directly? A waiter walked over with a bit of bitterness on his face, but he asked respectfully. We are from the Guzhong school, we are looking for your hall master. Shang Gukong took a step forward and said lightly. The attendant glanced at Shang Gukong, and his body was shocked. It seemed that he slightly sensed that his cultivation base was beyond the mortal realm, and he immediately showed respect. Shang Gukong's cultivation base was an earth saint, and his status was enough to deter a large number of people. A few please. The attendant guided Qin Chen's 3 people in. Qin Chen glanced at the ancient medicine hall. The shop was not small, but there were not many customers. It seemed that the business was very ordinary. He frowned slightly. This shouldn't be right. In the heavens, the pill is a very treasured thing, and it should be very popular everywhere, and it should not be as tepid as here. Thinking of the few people he saw before, Qin Chen felt thoughtful. After a while, the 3 of them were directed to the reception room. I saw flames lingering around the reception room, and the entire ancient medicine hall seemed to be filled with an extremely terrifying fire. The power of the flame rose from the ground, turning the entire ancient medicine hall into a melting pot. In this way, a terrifying prohibition was formed, exuding an aura against the sky. And in the back of the ancient medicine hall, there are a lot of medicinal materials, and some pill, in the void, countless powerful prohibitions, talisman, and a ray light are flashing, blocking those who dare to cross the thunder pond. Senior, the flame aura here is so strong, I'm afraid the Earth Saint powerhouse would not dare to force it. It seems that the master of the ancient medicine hall does have some means. Qin Tingting said in shock. It's nothing. Qin Chen smiled lightly. This is the most basic means of flaming an array. If I'm not mistaken, the alchemist in this ancient medicine hall controls an ancient flame, the smell of flames. It seems to come from the wild, the power is extremely ancient, but part of it is missing, so there is something lacking. When encountering a master of Earth Sage, it can stop it all at once, but if it really can stop it, it's not possible. If nothing else, Ben Shao wants to destroy it, and it can be destroyed immediately. His words spread out slightly, seeming to spread far away, and they seem to be in the ears. Where's the madman? The old man's hard-laying confession of fire can burn the sky and destroy the earth, but you said it is useless. Boy, your tone is so big. A voice was passed over, and the void fluctuated slightly, passing through this reception room, a great pressure, oppressing Qin Chen. Qin Tingting's body trembled, almost suppressed to breathe, saw the invisible flame aura pouring in, as if turning the reception room into a world of flames. Qin Tingting was dripping with sweat, even though it was in the later stage of the Holy Realm. The powerhouse, but can't resist such a breath, seems to be burned to ashes. This is a flame power close to the Earth Sage level. It is incredibly strong. Although it has never completely entered the Earth Sage, it can already hurt ordinary Earth Sage masters. Even Shang Gukong must be careful and jealous, not to mention Qin Tingting. However, Qin Chen laughed. He waved his robe and gave a slight shock. Suddenly, the endless flame pressure suddenly disappeared, and Qin Tingting suddenly felt like a spring breeze, and all the pressure disappeared. A sound of surprise sounded, and I saw that an old man in a medicinal robe slowly walked over from the reception room, came to Qin Chen's face, glanced at the three Qin Chen. It flashed even more when I saw Shang Gukong. Then he sat down in front of the three of them and said lightly, "When did the two great masters of the Jiyuzhong sect appear? Where is Mu Daoxian? Didn't he come to buy pills in the past?" As Shang Gukong was about to speak, Qin Chen waved his hand to prevent him from speaking, and said lightly, "Your Excellency is the master of ancient medicine?" With a flick of his finger, the surrounding restrictions seemed to shake out of thin air, and the entire ancient medicine hall, the banning array, was trembling, and I could vaguely feel that the many elixir and the aura of immortality stored in the ancient medicine hall seemed to be instantaneous. The destruction is about to collapse. Can you actually shake the old man's big fire formation? The old man moved his eyes and waved his big hand. Suddenly, a terrifying flame aura surged, and endless flame power merged into the formation, the original shaking formation. Fa immediately seemed to gain strength. The amount of support is quiet again. But the old man's gaze when looking at Qin Chen changed, because he could feel the aura of Shang Gukong. He was an Earth Sage master, and Qin Chen's cultivation base was just the pinnacle of the mortal realm, just like himself. Among the people, it seems that Qin Chen is the main one. Moreover, this young man could easily shake his final fire formation and almost collapsed. Such accomplishments were unheard of. "Who are you?" The old man sneered coldly, showing cold light. Qin Chen smiled coldly, but didn't do anything anymore. You guys are not here to make trouble, are you? The old man is the ancient medicine master. Since you have come to the ancient medicine hall, you never even heard the name of the old man. What's more, your ancient bell sect is also with you. My ancient medicine hall has had a lot of cooperation, referring to. I want an old man to come out. What's the matter? Just say it straight, don't sell it there. The old man said coldly. The young master is indeed looking for the ancient medicine master. Qin Chen smiled and took out a pill. This young man has a pill here. I don't know if you have any materials in it. Dan Fang. The ancient medicine master furrowed his brows and took the pill. After seeing this, his eyes suddenly condensed. This is some kind of pill for prolonging life. The ingredients in it are rare, but they are still rare. They are ordinary, not some particularly against the sky. Your ancient medicine hall, I wonder if they are here. Material? Qin Chen smiled slightly. Shang Jiyu was excited in the hollow. He knew that this was the material for Shao Chen to refine the pill of return to light for himself. The ancient medicine master coldly glanced at Qin Chen, and said lightly, "Although these materials are rare, most of my ancient medicine halls have them, but they lack one or two core ingredients. Originally you were in my ancient medicine. You will be beaten to death outside if you let go of the bad words, but in my ancient medicine hall, for the sake of a guest, the old man will spare you once. But the pill you took out should be a local saint. Pill, the sacred pill of land quality, at least you need the giant of the holy pharmacist to refine it, even if you buy the materials. The old man can't refine it, so I can only apologize to see him off. And many more. Qin Chen gestured, and said lightly, who said Ben Shao wants you to refine, you just need to take out the materials. Don't want me to refine? The ancient medicine master was taken aback, and sneered, could it be you want to use it to refine for other alchemy masters? Tsongshuan City has an earthly saint pharmacist, but this person only takes care of the business of the city lord's mansion and several big families, not your little ancient. Zhong Pai can contact. Of course, if you insist on buying materials, the old man will naturally not do your business. As long as you can get the holy crystals, you can buy anything you want. These materials are worth a total of… Wait. Qin Chen interrupted him again, I don't want to buy these pills from the holy crystal. You. The ancient medicine master's face was cold, and his expression contained a bit of anger. Your Excellency is playing me? Boom. A terrible breath erupted from him, and an endless flame power suddenly burst out from him. Qin Chen smiled slightly. The ancient medicine master is safe and quiet. I waited, naturally with sincerity. However, besides this material, this young master also wants to do another business with the ancient medicine master. This business is successful. I want to come to this first business. The master of medicine will naturally not have any dissatisfaction. What kind of business? Young Master Ben is going to establish a power in Tsongshuan City called Chundi Pavilion. This power manages all kinds of businesses, including medicines, formations, saint soldiers, etc. Ben Shao didn't want to spend too much effort, just a little bit to build, just. It is like inviting some forces to join the Chundi Pavilion of this young man and develop together. I wonder what the ancient medicine master wants. Chundi Pavilion? The ancient medicine master was taken aback. I don't know your Chundi Pavilion, what forces have joined now? Qin Chen smiled faintly. Currently there is only the Jiyu Zhong school, but when the Jiyu Yaotang joins, the most basic framework will be completed. Ha ha, ha ha ha. The ancient medicine master suddenly laughed. It turns out that your Excellency is a force to take, and it sounds good. Join your Chundi Pavilion. See, I want my ancient medicine hall to submit to you. Chendage, sure enough, wolf ambition. Sorry, my ancient medicine hall does not have the intention of joining any forces and sending guests off. The ancient medicine master stood up, his eyes suddenly became cold, and he waved his hand. A murderous intent surged, but he could still exercise restraint. Qin Chen said indifferently, why the master of ancient medicine should resist so? Your ancient medicine hall has been developing for some time. In this Tsongshuan city, it is not tepid, and there are not even many guests. The people from Jiyu Fengzhai are making trouble, the master of ancient medicine. Master Ben really came to talk to you with sincerity, and couldn't bear to look at your ancient medicine hall, and disappeared in Tsongshuan city from then on. Okay, the old man finally knows. Are you from Jiyu Fengzhai? What kind of ancient bell sect is still fake? I said. You said that it is a person of the ancient bell sect. Why did Mu Daoxian, who used to do business with my ancient medicine hall, never come here? Because he wanted to deceive the old man. Get together to lie to me in this ancient medicine hall, 3 of you. Get out of me immediately. If you don't get out, don't blame the old man for being polite. Boom. The ancient medicine master was completely angry, and the flames shrouded his body, suddenly forming a world of flames, clusters of flames lingering around him, turning into the shape of all things, beautiful and magnificent. Ha ha ha, people from Jiyu Fengzhai? Master ancient medicine, you think too much. Qin Chen didn't care at all, waved at Shong Gukong, and said lightly, Old Kong Kong, show him your true colors. Master of ancient medicine, take a closer look, who is the old man? Shong Gukong's face changed, and his original face was suddenly revealed, and, besides, the Earth-Sage level aura suddenly exploded, like a swept ocean. You. Jiyu Zhong sent Shong Jiyu Kong. You are all ready. The ancient medicine master stepped back, showing a look of horror. The Guzhong school had been cooperating with the ancient medicine hall, and the ancient medicine master naturally knew Shong Gukong. Master Ancient Medicine, the old man has not fallen. This time I followed Chen Shao to discuss cooperation with Master Ancient Medicine. Do you believe it now? Shang Gukong laughed. Shao Chen? The Ancient Medicine Master was startled and looked at Qin Chen, so that Shang Gukong, the ancient sage ancestor of the ancient Bell School, could be called Shao, and his opinion of Qin Chen suddenly became concerned. Yes, this young man with an extraordinary identity came to my Yunju by accident. The old man admired him. He has led the ancient Bell sect to seek refuge in Xiao Chen. Master of Ancient Medicine, listen to the old man's advice. If you want the Ancient Medicine Hall to develop, following Chen Shao is definitely the best opportunity. Shang Gukong discouraged. The Ancient Medicine Master flashed his eyes and was silent for a moment, before finally shook his head. I'm sorry, everyone has aspirations. The old man doesn't want to take refuge in anything, so he can only quietly refine the medicine and live the life of an alchemist. You. Shang Gukong's expression was stagnant, and he looked at Qin Chen. Stubbornness. Qin Chen stood up and shook his head slightly, seemingly regretful, and said lightly, well, the Ancient Medicine Master should have never seen Ben Shao's abilities. Ben Shao is also quite proficient in some alchemy techniques. I heard that the Ancient Medicine Master got the ancient pill. The inheritance of Taoism can't help but get into the itch. How about we gamble on it? In this way, if I win, you Ancient Medicine Hall, you will go to Ben Shao and join the Chandi Pavilion. If I lose, hey, the original power of this body, even my flesh and blood, will belong to you. As Qin Chen spoke, there was a hint of provocation. What? You want to bet on the technique of alchemy with me? You are also a master of alchemy? The Ancient Medicine Master didn't seem to hear clearly, his face changed, and he immediately sneered. Are you sure? The old man's alchemy, although Tsongshuan City can only be regarded as medium. But it is also no small matter. Even if you can refine the medicinal pill of the later stage of mortal product, are you sure you want to gamble against me? The Ancient Medicine Master is very confident in his alchemy attainments. Perhaps he has no chance of winning against the old alchemy masters in Shangtsang Shencheng, but for the young man Shang Qin Chen, it is easy and easy. Then you gamble or not? Qin Chen said lightly. The Ancient Medicine Master saw Qin Chen so confident, his eyes flashed. Is there really something special about this son? Looking back on the materials Qin Chen had brought out before, he was suddenly shocked. Maybe some preparations may not be necessary. However, it is absolutely impossible to make him retreat. If you want to bet, you can, but I have to choose the content of the bet. Can you dare? The Ancient Medicine Master thought that Qin Chen would use some weird gambling methods to deceive himself, and said with a sneer, thinking that he had exposed Qin Chen's conspiracy. That's okay. Unexpectedly, Qin Chen agreed without hesitation. This made him even more shocked. Are you sure? The old man wants to bet for you, but it is fire control. Can you dare? The technique of controlling fire is the strongest content in the ancient secret books he has obtained. In terms of controlling fire, let alone Qin Chen, even those old guys in Tsongshuan City, he dared to make a bet. Then bet to control the fire. Qin Chen smiled. The most important thing about fire control is soul power and spiritual power. He is not so confident when he is betting on other fires. He is still 10% sure that he can control fire even if he is a celestial pharmacist. Pressure. Okay, since you have to die, don't blame the old man. The Ancient Medicine Master's eyes froze. Shang Gukong, little girl, you too will be witnesses. The Ancient Medicine Master flew out all of a sudden and entered directly into the space behind the Ancient Medicine Hall. Boom! Suddenly in the meantime, endless flames bloomed on his body, and the aura of wild ancient flames surged. In the entire space, a flame burned and annihilated everything. Boy, do you dare to come in? If you don't dare to come in, let the old man go. This is your last chance. The Ancient Medicine Master said that he would do it with his hands. The wild ancient flames on his body were displayed, and countless flames appeared throughout the whole world, and each cluster of flames instantly expanded, turning into a flame god. Wild ancient spirit fire. He is the cultivation base of the pinnacle of the sacred realm, and his fire control technique is superb. In addition, the flame he possesses is an ancient fire, and he has obtained the fire control inheritance of the ancient times, and is fearless. When it comes to controlling fire, he is not afraid of anyone. In the flame space, the terrible flame rules linger, as if it can burn all things in the world. When the flame is out, everything is extinguished. Even Shang Gukong feels a trace of heart palpitations. This flame can threaten a place like his holy master, too. Terrible. Less dust. Shang Gukong looked at Qin Chen worriedly. Ha ha ha, it's interesting. Ben Shao wants to see how powerful your fire control technique is. Qin Chen laughed, not afraid, shook his figure, and rushed directly into this flame space. Then, facing the endless flames, Qin Chen opened his mouth, countless vortexes appeared, and he swallowed these flames all at once. He inhaled the body. The raging fire burned everything out, even ordinary Earth Sage masters could not bear it, but as soon as they entered Qin Chen's body, these terrifying flames felt the aura of Qinglian demon fire and Yukong ice flame, and immediately lost their arrogant capital. Boom boom 3. Kind of flames collide together. Under the suppression of Qinglian demon fire and Yukong Bingyang, this wild ancient spirit fire was retreated steadily, and was immediately tamed. A flame screamed, transformed into pure flame rules, was thoroughly refined and integrated into Qin Chen's two big sky fires. Sky fire, rumors are the flames of heaven. Back then, in the Tianwu continent, countless powerful people gathered, and there were many masters in the Holy Realm, and even a master of the Holy Master level landed, but Qinglian demon fire and Yukong ice flame were the top two flames in the history of Tianwu continent. The origin is extraordinary, absolutely not. Same as usual. This is where Qin Chen's pride lies. Even at the beginning, this Qinglian demon fire was able to fight against the master clone of Abyss Demon, ordinary flame. How could he do this? Now that the implementation began, it immediately suppressed the ancient medicine master's wild ancient spirit fire. It was Qin Chen's failure to fully release the power of the Qinglian demon fire. Qin Chen prided himself that once the Qinglian demon fire continued to grow, it would be enough to cross the heavens. Impossible, how could you dissolve my wild ancient spirit fire so easily, and swallow it down? It is impossible for a Holy Realm master to dissolve my wild ancient spiritual fire. What is in your body? The ancient medicine master glared his eyes and almost fell off. Hehe, this is your ancient spiritual fire, look at the flame of this young man. Qinglian demon fire, Yukong Bingyang, come out. Qin Chen started, with a flick of his finger, and launched a counterattack. Qinglian demon fire and Yukong Bingyang suddenly surged out, two flames, one to the left and one to the right, one up. Turn into Tai Chi gossip, condensed into a flame phantom. In the phantom, there is a blue fire. Harmony and coldness bloom, one hot and one cold, one yin and one yang, representing all things in the universe, covering all directions. Qin Chen's powerful soul power spurred two sky fires and suppressed everything. In an instant, the master of ancient medicine was wrapped. What kind of flame is this? The ancient medicine master was taken aback. Could it be the ancient sky fire? As soon as this flame came out, his wild ancient spirit fire shuddered and his breath was suppressed. Damn, the old man doesn't believe it, the flames turn into spirits, and the emptiness is forever. The ancient medicine master roared, and repeatedly used the ancient spiritual fire, but he could not break through the suppression of Qin Chen's two great sky fires. The ancient spirit fire evolves into various shapes, including fire phoenix, fire dragon, and flame. Gods, there are also flame mountain. But no matter how he changed, Qin Chen's yin and yang fires suppressed him, unable to resist. Go with. Qin Chen smiled faintly, and immediately bursts of flames spread out, and the clusters of flames turned into a mighty formation, controlling the rules of this space, and completely enveloping the master of ancient medicine. Not good. The ancient medicine master looked shocked and an ancient furnace flew out of his hand. This furnace cauldron was only the size of a palm, but it became as tall as a person in a flash, containing everything in the universe. The breath, there are birds and beasts, vivid, like sudden. But come alive in general. Ancient Hungyu furnace. This was actually a saint-class furnace tripod, rapidly rotating, bursting out an aura against the sky, and with a boom, it broke through Qin Chen's large flame array, as if a white rainbow pierced the sun, hitting Qin Chen's body. Qin Chen's pupils shrank suddenly, and he split out with a palm, using the palm as a sword. Suddenly, the terrifying sword aura soared into the sky, as if to split the heaven and the earth in two, crashing on the cauldron. When the furnace tripod shook violently, erupted with a harsh roar, and the entire ancient medicine hall shivered under the blow, almost bursting. With a bang, this terrifying furnace cauldron was smashed into the air by Qin Chen. Good furnace. Qin Chen laughed. If it were an ordinary holy weapon, he would not destroy the holy weapon with this attack, but it would still leave traces. But this furnace ding, unmoving, bloomed with the ancient atmosphere of its debut. Terrible. Unexpectedly, the ancient medicine master has such a treasure. But Master Ancient Medicine, didn't we say that it is like fighting fire control? Why do you even display alchemy, guys? Could it be that you have to compete with all alchemy skills? Oh. The ancient medicine master sighed. He suddenly retracted the deserted ancient Hungyu furnace and stood in this space, his face full of decline. You can actually block the old man's deserted Hungyu furnace with a mortal body. How powerful is his body? Nothing, I think. Lost. He was eclipsed, and suddenly seemed to be thousands of years old. After so many years of hard work, he was not even as good as Qin Chen as a young man. He was frustrated and extremely disappointed. An endless retreat sprang up in his heart. He only felt that the world was full of darkness and there was no light. Master of ancient medicine, what about your previous agreement with me? Qin Chen shook his figure, left this space, returned to the reception room, sat down generously, and said with a smile. That's it. The ancient medicine master also returned to the reception room, and said bitterly. Anyway, after a short while, this ancient medicine hall will not be able to keep it, even if you take refuge in you, what can you do? He sat down desperately, his face full of bitterness. Master Ancient Medicine, why be disappointed? The old man said long ago that being able to worship Shao Chen is an opportunity for your ancient medicine hall. Do you know who refining the pill that Shao Chen is searching for? Shang Gukong said with a smile. Could it be? The ancient medicine master looked over in confusion. Yes, these materials are collected by Shao Chen for the old man. Once the materials are collected, Shao Chen will refining for the old man himself. If you can wait for Shao Chen's guidance in the future, why don't you worry about the ancient medicine master? Not happy. Shang Gukong laughed. What? You refined it yourself? The ancient medicine master jumped in surprise. This video will end here.